doesn't have to be Halloween to be this scary.
Welcome back to Movie Nights. Today we watched Bad Moon.
I'm in a real bad mood.
Bring it on, because I forgot to take my medication in the morning, and I'm in a real bad mood.
Nobody's gonna understand what that is.
Someone will.
Someone will. All the OSW fans will get it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So Bad Moon is a werewolf movie. I love the premise of this one. It was based off of a book that was just called Thor, which the name of the dog is Thor. And it's kind of like Rear Window if a dog noticed a werewolf.
Yeah.
And nobody knows this. Like, the dog's like, something's going on here. But they're like, oh, that Thor. He's just being silly old Thor.
This is German Shepherd versus werewolf. It's awesome. This is another really underappreciated movie.
Yeah, it flopped in the box office. It did not do well.
This deserves better than what it got.
Yeah, just for the premise alone, but it's a pretty fun movie. Did you remember anything from it after we watched it? Possibly again? Did any of it seem familiar?
I don't know. If you did show me this before, I don't remember it.
If we watched this before, it was years and years ago. I know I've seen it before at least, but rewatching it was nice.
Probably in a real bad mood when we saw it before. I forgot.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, most of it holds up. Some of the effects work does not when they try to do like the shitty morph effects from Werewolf. That's sort of an unfortunate part of the 90s there.
Yeah, the transition, it's filled with like things that kind of work okay, and then it gets overly morphy, and it's like that's a little bit bad, but like some of the transitions not too bad.
Well, the practical effects they use are fine, and some of the morphs, when they're more subtle, they're fine, but they should have cut away after that.
Exactly.
Because I think maybe they got too ambitious, like, because that was impressive back then, before, you could just use like, a camera effect, whatever. But like, I feel like they were really focused on getting like, from this part to the full transition in one shot, and it didn't really look so good in the final product there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst ever. We've seen way worse.
Well, it's no Howling 7 morph, but really it can be.
I do like the look of the werewolves in this one. These are ones that look more wolf-like, and I always appreciate that more than ones that look like stupid ape things or something.
Yeah, it was like the Buffy werewolves.
Except for their first appearance.
Except for the first one, where they look nice.
Yeah, they look good, then crap.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that's my favorite werewolf design, is when it's more wolf-like, but it's still on two legs. So it's not like just a large wolf on four legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I liked the look of it, and the animatronics were pretty good. Some of the close-ups, they're a little stiff, but it wasn't really anything too distracting. There's a lot of nice gore in this as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty gory movie, like you were saying. It's kind of like part like a happy family movie, like Man's Best Friend, and part we're gonna kill you werewolf movie, like gore all over the place.
It's not a lot of it compared to the runtime, but when they use it, like, they use it well. Because like that first death scene when he's tearing that woman apart, or she, I don't know who the werewolf was in the first scene, but when that woman gets torn apart, that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it's effective because it is only in a few parts, but when it comes her.
Yeah.
Which could be taken in a bad way.
Well, in that scene, they were coming pretty hard in that scene.
yeah, because they were fucking at the beginning, and then the werewolf's just like, I've had enough of this sex scene. Rips her the fuck apart. Like,
the best part of that scene is when he blows the werewolf's head off, and it just goes straight up, and there's this pool of blood going straight up. It's hilarious because it's just like, just one shot, head's gone, of this giant werewolf. And they must have, I want to say they filmed it upside down. So the head would go up, and that's why the blood's
either that or
pouring
they
out
had like
that.
the pressurized thing in there to blow it off.
But it was
the
like a
blood spreading.
geyser.
Yeah.
That was an excessive amount.
It
That
was pretty
like,
funny.
That was like
great.
Nightmare on Elm Street bed excessive.
The characters are all pretty good for the most part in this too. Like I like that because the main character, Mariel Hemingway, it's her brother gets turned into a werewolf in the Amazon.
That's Michael Pare.
Yeah, who you probably know from Lead Kid and The Greatest American Hero.
He was Tony Villicani, I think.
Villicani.
Every day of my life, I'm looking for wise guys, Villicana. Sure glad I didn't miss out on you.
Hey, yo, Teach! Turned into a werewolf. Clearly he's had no career since then. He's not made it big.
He should have just called his teacher. I mean, he could have used his suit to help him, and he forgot about that.
I like this trend of around Halloween filming movie nights on horror movies starring people from Greatest American Hero.
In good time, old boy. In good time.
He was good in this, but I feel like he's had more presence in some other stuff. I feel like maybe he was overshadowed by some other things, but it wasn't a bad performance.
Well, it's nice though, like when he comes in first, you see some of that brother-sister relationship between him and Mariel Hemingway.
You can see the transition from him being like, where he wrote his letter, like, I feel like true love, love is going to help me cure myself.
He's trying a bunch of cures. He's like, well, last-ditch effort, I guess, fucking love.
Medicine will not stave off this disease. But perhaps love, the restorative power of love, family love, will save me.
We'll see if that works. If not, I guess I'll kill my family. Whatever.
He starts out being like, love is gonna cure me, and I'm gonna see if I can stop this. And by the end of it, he's just evil. He's just gonna kill him.
Well, he's not completely even by the end. It's just like when the wolf side's coming out more, it's taking over him a bit. Because even by the end, he's got that classic tragic werewolf character, going all the way back to the Wolfman kind of thing. Like, I want to die.
Do it. Finish it.
But that's the best part of this movie, is that the dog knows what's going on from the minute that he shows up. There's some things that I could understand, like he smells him and he doesn't, like, he knows that he's not really human and things like that. But there are other things. This dog has to just be a genius. Like, he's looking through his bag and finds a pair of handcuffs. He's like, oh, these handcuffs, something's up, ruh-roh.
He's a real dog detective.
By the way, this dog, Thor, is played by the equally great named Primo, who was in a few things, including an uncredited role in Karate Dog.
Yeah, 9 years later.
9 years later. He had a pretty good, lengthy career. It wasn't like a lot of credits, but...
unless there's some other that weren't on IMDb.
That's very true. He must have lived a long time. Because he wasn't like a puppy. He was probably a pretty young dog, but... Yeah. Anyway. End review.
Come on! Oh, shit!
I love that the kid in this was Dennis the Menace, which made it equally great. Like, when the werewolf grabs him. Oh, no.
Dennis the Menace. His head goes flying.
I can't believe that Mr. Wilson was torn apart by an animal. If only he'd killed Carrot Top.
Stupid brown-faced Carrot Top. You get your racism out of here.
It's great because this movie is R. I'm certain it's R. Yeah, they cut out some gore to avoid an NC-17 actually, but the parts that don't have the werewolf are pretty they're pretty tame. Like, you could see it in any kind of family movie, which makes it funny when it gets to the really gory stuff, or like, get the fuck away from my son.
Get the fuck off my son!
I did like the beginning too with Flopsy. He's trying to get the dog to attack him because he's just a scam artist trying to sue for crap, and then Mariel Hemingway's just like, oh really? I'm a lawyer. Get out of here, Flopsy.
Foiled again.
And this fucking, like, douchebag. He's so mad that he got found out. His next plan of attack is, I will come in with a meat cleaver and chop off her dog because I got found out. Like, what?
Nobody makes a fucking fool out of me, lady. Come here, you friggin' stupid dog.
I don't see any money for you in this. Like,
No.
he's devoting his time away from another scheme to get money just to get vengeance on the dog.
In this case, the werewolf was fully justified in killing this guy.
Yeah, the
Like, in that
werewolf
case,
helps
it's like,
out.
oh, that was good.
That's the one time the werewolf's got, the German Shepherd's back.
Like, oh, we'll have a truce, you did save me.
I'm glad it's a German Shepherd in this movie, too, because that's like one of the dogs you can believe could take on a werewolf. Like that or a husky, probably.
Yeah, those are the kind of dogs that are really tough and you can believe it,
Like if
there's
this was
some
a
dogs-
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua against werewolf. I really don't know about this one, guys. A little Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah.
Pomeranian.
Corgi.
Yeah. I would like to see that. This dog gets the shit beaten out of it in this movie. Like, it gets thrown into a light, it jumps out a window, this werewolf's tossing it around.
We saw how this werewolf can just rip apart that woman at the beginning, so that dog does pretty damn good.
The dog does really damn good against a werewolf. That fight scene, that was all worth the lead up to that, because that was a great moment.
I love when the dog just flings itself to throw the wolf out the window after she's shot the shit out of it.
The fatality, finish him.
Yeah. Boom! And then still it's not over.
Yeah. The werewolf is like, bad day, see you later.
Limps off into the woods. There's a few times where you think the dog might be dead too, or is going to die, and it keeps going.
They had their oh no, is Flipper gonna make it kind of moment?
Yeah, I love too, there's a literal pissing contest between the two of them in this, where the dog, sees him up in his trailer behind the house, and he's like, doop, doop, doop. And then after the werewolf, he gets the dog to attack him later on because he dared to wink at it.
Yeah, winking was too far.
But the dog knew he was taunting him, but the dog fell for it. So he attacks him, and that's when they're like, oh no, the dog's gone rabid, we gotta send him to the pound. So after they get him taken away, Michael Pare is like, over to the doghouse. That's so good. So good.
I love they have all of these close-ups of him and the dog staring each other down they know something's up.
Yeah. They establish that they don't need a full moon, it's just he turns into a werewolf every night, but then they make a point almost to show a full moon every single night.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
They didn't have to show a full moon.
Yeah, they made a perfectly reasonable reason for why it doesn't have to be a full moon.
Yeah.
It just said in this one, he just turns into a werewolf every night, and then they kind of undo it by showing a full moon for no reason every night. Why is there a full moon every night? What?
Well, actually, that's a made-up thing by the movies. There's always a full moon every night.
Oh, okay. They also say you don't need silver bullets or anything, because I do
blow his head off.
Yeah, I do like when he's just being coy with Dennis the Menace about it. He's like, you don't need silver bullets. I'd say a good shotgun blowing its head off would work just fine. Why'd you say that, Uncle? Gotta go.
Have you ever met a werewolf?
I've been acquainted with a few in my time.
I love how seriously this dog takes this. He's having stakeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And, the mom comes over, hey, what you doing, pal?
Cute dog.
I'm having a stakeout.
Yeah.
No hugs and kisses during the stakeout.
Don't do that.
I liked when he killed the guy in the rain slicker, and it looked almost like a scene from Jurassic Park or something. And then the dog finds the body later strewn up in a tree.
Yeah. like too when he's trying to lead Mariel Hemingway back into the woods to see the werewolf. She's like, let's go. Come on, get the shit. This is why you seriously gotta see this shit, bro. She's like, no.
This dog has no fear. There's a moment when it first sees the werewolf out in the woods and he's cuffed, and then the dog's like,
yeah. Can I take this? I don't know.
I don't know about this one. But after that, like, it's just like, nope, just gonna go right after that werewolf.
Terminator dog.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I thought this was a really fun movie. I think it's probably kind of a forgotten movie, so if any of you guys are like werewolf fans, it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it's a fun, different take on a werewolf story.
Yeah, and it's got a funny premise, but it's a good movie. I wouldn't say this is so bad it's good. I would say it's just a good movie.
Yeah, this is just a genuinely fun movie.
So check it out, guys.